Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariya or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 7, Book 72, number 771. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The Prophet offered a 2-rakat prayer on Eid day, and he did not offer any nawafil prayer before or after it. He then went towards the women, and Bilal was accompanying him, and ordered him to give alms. And so the women started giving their earrings, etc. Volume 7, Book 72, number 772. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. I was with Allah's Apostle in one of the markets of Medina. He left the market, and so did I. Then he asked thrice, "Where is the small child?" Then he said, "Call Al-Hasan bin Ali." So Al-Hasan bin Ali got up and started walking with a necklace of beads around his neck. The Prophet stretched his hand out like this, and Al-Hasan did the same. The Prophet embraced him and said, Allah, love him, so please love him and love those who love him. Since Allah's Apostle said that, nothing has been dearer to me than Al-Hasan. Volume 7, Book 72, number 773. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Allah's Apostle cursed those men who are in the similitude, assume the manners, of women, and those women who are in the similitude, assume the manners, of men. Volume 7, Book 72, number 774. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The Prophet cursed effeminate men, those men who are in the similitude, assume the manners of women, and those women who assume the manners of men, and he said, turn him out of your houses. The Prophet turned out such and such man, and Umar turned out such and such woman. Volume 7, Book 72, number 775. Narrated by Salama. That once the Prophet was in her house, and an effeminate man was there too. The effeminate man said to Abdullah, Salama's brother, Abdullah, if Taif should be conquered tomorrow, I recommend you the daughter of Ghailan, for she is so fat that she has 4 curves in the front of her belly, and 8 at the back. So the Prophet said to his wives, these effeminate men should not enter upon you, your houses. Volume 7, Book 72, number 776. Narrated by Ibn Umar. The Prophet said, to get the moustaches cut short is characteristic of the fitra. Volume 7, Book 72, number 777. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, 5 practices are characteristics of the fitra: circumcision, shaving the pubic region, clipping the nails and cutting the moustaches short. Volume 7, Book 72, number 778. Narrated by Ibn Umar. Allah's Apostle said, to shave the pubic hair, to clip the nails and to cut the moustaches short, are characteristics of the fitra. Volume 7, Book 72, number 779. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. I heard the Prophet saying, 5 practices are characteristics of the fitra: circumcision, shaving the pubic hair, cutting the moustaches short, clipping the nails, and depilating the hair of the armpits. Volume 7, Book 72, number 780. Narrated by Nafi. Ibn Umar said, the Prophet said, do the opposite of what the pagans do. Keep the beards and cut the moustaches short. Whenever Ibn Umar performed the Hajj or Umrah, he used to hold his beard with his hand and cut whatever moustaches. Ibn Umar used to cut his moustache so short that the whiteness of his skin, above the upper lip, was visible, and he used to cut the hair between his moustaches and his beard. Volume 7, Book 72, number 781. Narrated by Ibn Umar. Allah's Apostle said, cut the moustaches short and leave the beard as it is. Volume 7, Book 72, number 782. Narrated by Muhammad bin Sirin. I asked Anas, did the Prophet dye his hair? Anas replied, the Prophet did not have except a few grey hairs. Volume 7, Book 72, number 783. Narrated by Thabit. Anas was asked whether the Prophet used a hair dye or not. Anas replied, the Prophet had not enough grey hair to dye. I could even count the white grey hairs oil his beard would. Volume 7, Book 72, number 784. Narrated by Israel I. Uthman bin Abdullah bin Mawhab said, my people sent me with a bowl of water to Salama. Israel approximated 3 fingers, indicating the small size of the container in which there was some hair of the Prophet. Uthman added, if any person suffered from evil eye or some other disease, he would send a vessel, containing water, to Salama. I looked into the container that held the hair of the Prophet, and saw a few red hairs in it. Volume 7, Book 72, number 785. Narrated by Uthman bin Abdullah bin Mawhab. I went to Salama and she brought out for us some of the dyed hair of the Prophet. Ibn Mawhab also said that Salama had shown him the red hair of the Prophet. Volume 7, Book 72, number 786. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, Jews and Christians do not dye their hair, so you should do the opposite of what they do. Volume 7, Book 72, number 787. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet was neither conspicuously tall, nor short, neither very white, nor tawny. His hair was neither much curled, nor very straight. Allah sent him, as an apostle, at the age of 40, and after that, he stayed for 10 years in Mecca, and for 10 more years in Medina. Allah took him unto him at the age of 60, and he scarcely had 10 white hairs on his head and in his beard. Volume 7, Book 72, number 788. Narrated by Al-Bara. I did not see anybody in a red cloak looking more handsome than the Prophet, narrated Malik. The hair of the Prophet used to hang near his shoulders. Narrated Shubar. The hair of the Prophet used to hang down to the earlobes. Volume 7, Book 72, number 789. Narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. Allah's Apostle said, today I saw myself in a dream near the Kaaba. I saw a whitish-brown man, the handsomest of all brown men you might ever see. He had the most beautiful lima, hair hanging down to the earlobes, you might ever see. He had combed it and it was dripping water, and he was performing the tawaf around the Kaaba leaning on 2 men or on the shoulders of 2 men. El asked, who is this? It was said, Messiah, the son of Mary. Suddenly I saw a curly-haired man, blind in the right eye which looked like a protruding out grape. I asked, "Who is this?" It was said, "He is Messiah ad-Dajjal." Volume 7, Book 72, number 790. Narrated by Anas. The hair of the Prophet used to hang down up to his shoulders. Volume 7, Book 72, number 790. Narrated by Anas. The head hair of the Prophet used to hang down to his shoulders. Volume 7, Book 72, number 791. Narrated by Qatada. El asked Anas bin Malik about the hair of Allah's apostle. He said, "The hair of Allah's apostle was neither much straight, nor much curly, and it used to hang down till between his shoulders and his earlobes." Volume 7, Book 72, number 792. Narrated by Anas. The Prophet had big hands, and I have never seen anybody like him after him. The hair of the Prophet was wavy, neither curly nor straight. Volume 7, Book 72, number 793. Narrated by Anas. The Prophet had big hands and feet, and I have not seen anybody like him, neither before nor after him, and his palms were soft.
I